Hello everyone. My greetings to each one of you. This is the second session on producers' behavior. In the previous session, you have understood the broad guidelines of production, costs, revenues, and supply of a commodity. I am Poonam Vohra from Economics Learning Center. This session focuses on the basic concepts of total product, average product, and marginal product. Let's understand production function, where production is defined as a process through which a firm transforms its inputs into output. Production function refers to the functional relationship between inputs and output for a given state of technology. That is, quantity of commodity X is a function of various inputs written as I1, I2 till In. It specifies either the maximum amount of output can be produced with given inputs, or minimum inputs are needed to produce a given level of output. Hence, it considers the efficient use of inputs. One needs to note that production function is always defined with respect to technology, simply because over time, the improvement in technology level will result in shift of production function. That is, more output can be produced with same physical inputs. And the time period is equally important over which production is carried out. So one has to find out the production function during short run or long run. In the production process, since the variety and number of inputs are used, for simplicity, all these inputs are categorized as fixed inputs and variable inputs. Fixed inputs are those which cannot be easily and frequently changed in quantity and therefore require some time for either acquiring or disposing them of. For example, land, building, machinery, etc. Since these inputs get fixed once they have been installed, their quantity does not change with change in the amount of commodity produced. Whereas variable inputs are those which can be easily and frequently changed in quantity. They can be acquired and disposed of immediately without any lapse of time, like labor, electricity, raw material, etc. Since these inputs are variable, their quantity changes with the change in the amount of commodity produced. Time period. As inputs are divided into fixed and variable, the time period over which production is carried out is correspondingly divided into short run and long run. Short run is a time period ranging from few months to few years over which fixed inputs cannot be changed. Only variable inputs can be changed. Whereas long run is the time period, usually more than a year, over which even fixed inputs can be changed. Therefore, all inputs are variable. On the basis of two types of inputs and the time periods, two types of relationships can be studied. One, at what rate the output of a good changes when only one input is varied and other inputs used in the production of goods are kept fixed. This occurs in short run. The resulting behavior of output is termed as returns to factor and is explained by the law of variable proportions. At what rate the output of a good changes when all inputs used in production of that good are changed simultaneously and in the same proportion. It occurs in the long run, and the resulting behavior of output is termed as returns to scale. Now assess yourself. You have been given 4 options. You need to identify the correct one. The statement is, the functional relationship between more combinations of inputs and output is represented by option A, short run only, B, long run only, C, same in short and long run, and D, different in short and long run. Please check your answer. The functional relationship between different combinations of inputs and output are represented differently in short run and in long run, simply because in the short run only one factor is variable, whereas in the long run all factors are variable. Now have a look at this question. 4 options are given. You need to identify the correct option for the statement. That is, a production function represents A, the quantity of inputs necessary to produce a given level of output, B, a set of all feasible combinations of inputs and output, C, the technological relationship between the physical outputs and inputs, and D, only the technically feasible methods of production. Please check your answer. The production function represents the technological relationship between the physical outputs and inputs. That is option C. In order to understand the behavior of output, one needs to focus on the basic concepts of total product, average product, and marginal product. Total product is the total output that is produced with given level of factor inputs and technology during a given period of time. For example, if with a combination of 2 units of labor and 4 units of capital, 30 units of good X is being produced, then total product is considered as 30 units. Average product refers to output per unit of variable input. So it is total product divided by units of variable factor, or total product is average product into units of output. That is calculated separately for each factor unit. Continuing with the same example, if total product is 30 and 2 units of labor are employed, then average product would be 30 divided by 2. That is 15. Similarly, one can understand marginal product. It is change in the total output divided by change in the units of variable factor employed, or total product of n units minus total product of n minus 1 units. Also, total product is a summation of marginal product. Let us understand these concepts with the help of this table. 1 unit of variable factor is employed. Total product is 10. Average product would be 10 divided by 1, so 10. Marginal product will also remain the same as it is change, and there is no change when 1 unit of variable factor is employed. Now when 2 units are employed, total product increases from 10 to 26. So average product would be 26 divided by 2, that is 13. And marginal product is total product of n units minus total product of n minus 1 unit. That is 26 minus 10, which is 16. Similarly, when third unit of variable factor is employed, total product increases to 51. Average product would be 51 divided by 3, that is 17. And marginal product would be 51 minus 26, that is 25. Similarly, one can find average product and marginal product for all the units of variable factor when total product is given to you. Now this is a numerical question where you have been given the units of labor, that is variable factor, and total product. When one labor is employed, total product was 30. When 2 units of labor were employed, total product increased to 60. With the third labor, it increases to 100. With the fourth labor, total product further increases to 160. With the fifth labor, it further increases to 170. When sixth labor was employed, it remained as 170. And then with seventh labor, the total product now decreases to 160. And when eighth labor is employed, total product further decreases to 140. So you need to find out the average product as well as marginal product. Now check your answer. I've been telling each time that whenever you have to solve a numerical, you must write down the formula first, simply because most of the times 1 mark is allotted for writing down the formula. So formula for finding average product is total product divided by units of a variable factor, that is labor. Marginal product is total product of n units minus total product of n minus 1 unit. So I shall explain you only till 3 units of labor employed. Rest you can do it by yourself. Now when 1 unit of labor is employed, total product was 30. So average product would be 30 divided by 1, which is 30. For the second unit of labor, total product is 60. So average product would be 60 divided by 2, which will be 30. Similarly, for third unit of labor, total product is 100. So average product will be 100 divided by 3. That will be 33.3, and so on. You can find out for the rest. So far as marginal product is concerned, for the first unit, it will be same as 30 because we need to see how much is the change. For the first unit, there is no change. For the second unit, total product has increased from 30 to 60. So marginal product for the second unit will be 60 minus 30, that is 30. And in the third case, the marginal product would be 100 minus 60, which is 40, and so on. One can find out accordingly. Now look at this question. You have been given units of variable factor, that is labor, and its marginal product. One can notice that with increase in the units of variable factor, that is labor, marginal product goes on declining. So you need to find out the total product as well as average product. Let's see how do we do that. Now have a look at the solution. When total product is given to you and you need to find marginal product, you always follow the formula total product of n units minus total product of n minus 1 unit. Now this is the reverse case. Now here marginal product is given, you need to find total product. So it would be addition. That means when 1 unit of labor is employed, marginal product was 30. With increase in the units of labor to 2, marginal product reduced to 26. So in this case, total product for the first unit of labor will remain the same, that is 30. But for the second unit, it will be 30 plus 26, which will be 56. Similarly, when third unit of labor is employed, marginal product has further reduced to 22. So, total product for the third unit of labor would be addition of 22 to 56. That will be 78. Similarly, you can find out for rest of the units of variable factor. Now that you have found total product, now it is easy to find average product. That will be total product divided by the number of variable factor. So for the first case, average product would be 30 divided by 1, which is 30. For the second case, it will be 56 divided by 2, which is 28. For the third case, it will be 78 divided by 3, which will be 26, and so on. After doing all these numericals, I'm sure you have understood the concepts of total product, average product, and marginal product. With this, the session comes to an end. The next session will focus on the diagrammatic presentation of these concepts and their relationships. Till then, keep reading and keep learning. Keep practicing too.